Well, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Transpower's sixth public meeting. I'm Mark Verbiest, the Chairman of Transpower, and I've got with me today my fellow Transpower directors, and I'll ask them to stand so that you can see who they are. Deputy Chairman Ian Fraser, Jan Evans-Freeman, Abby Scott, Abby Foote, slip of the tongue, Don Hughes, Mike Poio. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to be here this afternoon representing a company whose purpose is to connect New Zealanders to their power system through safe, smart solutions for today and tomorrow. As a company, we understand the importance of achieving this purpose every day, given the ever-increasing reliance on electricity in all our daily lives. For those of you who have been to our public meetings before, you'll already know broadly the format. For those joining us for the first time, these forums are an opportunity for us to meet with our stakeholders and to talk about our performance over the past year and our plans for the future. We're also very interested to hear your questions and comments, which we ask you to make and encourage you to make at the end of the presentations. We will then invite you to join us for some light refreshments in the adjoining room. As you may know, Transpower has two key roles. We're the SOE that plans, builds, maintains and operates New Zealand's high voltage electricity transmission network, the national grid, 12,000 odd kilometres of transmission lines and 178 substations. We are also the system operator responsible for the operation of the electricity system in real time, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. And the system operator, of course, also physically dispatches the wholesale electricity market. Together, these two functions ensure that New Zealanders receive a safe, secure and reliable supply of electricity to power our homes and businesses. So moving to our performance this year, and before I move to the actual figures, it is worth noting that these figures exclude the proceeds of sale of Decipher Trade, which we sold in the last financial year. It was a one-off. So there was about a 60 million approximate difference. So the comparisons you are seeing are the best comparables that we can give you, if you like, on a BAU basis. Transmission revenue for the year was 941 million, up 80 million on the previous year. This increase reflects the commissioning of our two major projects, the North Auckland and Northland project and the final stage of the HVDC project. And I'm also proud to say that the team won an award for Best Project of the Year at the Deloitte Energy Awards last year in recognition of the completion of that project, and we're very proud of that because it was a seriously complex exercise. Net profit after tax from continuing operations and before net changes in the fair value of financial instruments was 184 million compared to 202 million the previous year. The net decrease reflects that whilst there was higher revenue, depreciation and interest costs increased, which again is a reflection of the outcome of our significant build program. We managed to keep operating expenses slightly lower than the previous year, continuing to keep our OPEX as low as possible by seeking efficiencies in our processes and practices while effectively delivering our critical functions is a very key focus for the board and the management team going forward. In March of this year, we paid the Crown an interim dividend of $60 million, and today the board resolved to pay a final dividend of $91 million in September. That brings the total for the year to $151 million. The year has been another substantial one for Transpower. For the past 5 years, those of you who have been regular attendees at our meetings would have heard and seen a lot about our capital build program, which has dominated our focus for quite some time now, and rightly so, as there was an urgent need to increase the capacity and reliability of the grid, a critical factor in getting us back to the good position that we feel we are in now, with a strong transmission grid backbone, restored resilience and diversity, especially to our largest commercial centre, Auckland. We've now come to the end of the largest capital investment program projects, with the two major projects, the North Auckland and Northland project and the Wairaki to Whakamaru replacement transmission line project being completed during this year, and both have been delivered successfully. We still need to carry out small to medium-sized projects going forward. However, our focus will no longer just be on building things, but on developing new technologies and innovative solutions to get more out of the existing grid and our existing assets. And this is particularly important now in the current environment where in the short term going forward we're seeing relatively flat demand and future load growth is pretty uncertain. Transmission assets nevertheless are there for a long time, and we like to be prepared for any eventuality. But deferring big builds by using smart and innovative solutions obviously results in better service for our customers, less disruption and ultimately less cost on the end of an end consumer's monthly electricity bill. Consumer technologies are an important part of delivering on this, and we're on the journey to see how some of these can contribute positively to running the grid more effectively. Demand response and dispatchable demand programs and the development of a new substation that we can deploy as and when needed are just some of the initiatives we have launched this year to create better experiences for our customers and meeting the operational requirements of the grid. Another key development during the year was the launch of the new gas market, EMS TradePoint, developed by our commercial arm, Energy Market Services, or EMS, in conjunction with key industry sponsors. The objective of EMS TradePoint is to provide a highly liquid, transparent and widely accessible trading hub for natural gas. The new gas market will ultimately flow through to being able us to better manage security of the overall power supply. Asset management has been a key focus for us during the last 3 years, and we had been working towards fulfilling the high levels demanded by an internationally recognised asset certification program known as PAS or PAS 55. This has become the de facto worldwide specification for any organisation seeking to demonstrate a high level of professionalism and life cycle management of physical assets. Now, I'm pleased to say that we received PAS 55 certification this year. The requirements of PAS 55 will help form our ongoing program of work for asset management.